guys, welcome to the outdoor edition of the Random Junk channel where we're revisiting the candy cart. It has been modified since the first video. So we're going to show you the modifications and then post measurements so you can try and build your own at home. It's also lighter than the first one. So this is the bottom. It's got wheels. That way it rolls. A lot of candy carts don't roll. They have either just two wheels in the back, you have to tip them, or they just have fake wheels just to hold them in place. And it's light. So we got casters on the front and 16-inch bicycle tires on the back with a solid axle straight through. The second layer of the cart is held up by 4x4s with some old fence slats to reinforce them, to screw to the sides. They just drop in place. This is what makes it disassemblable and still rigid. The top section is similar to the bottom without the wheels, and it's got a handle. You can assemble this with one person, but it's easier with two. And this piece right here on both sides, believe it or not, is what gives this thing the stability. What you're seeing wobbling are the wheels. It makes it nice and rigid. The next section on the original cart were big wood beams that fit in here, planks. They're now made out of metal, and they're hollow in the center. And then this one has grommet holes in it for running wire for lights. The lighting side I have against the handle.
One of us had it right.
The flat side goes down, the side that has the tops goes up. You'll see why in a second. So, this is why. This is the top. It's also made out of metal, and it's got holes which slide over, and then these arms hold the new roof. Instead of that big heavy wood roof, it's now a light metal roof. Here's a new roof. It's corrugated metal. The side that faces down has a protective strip. It's just car molding to help you from scratching or bumping your head. And there's wings. So, technically the studs will hold it, but in case there's a breeze, that's why the wing nuts were used, is to help keep these from flopping if there is a stiff wind, since this is used for an outdoor display. On the original one, the bars that went across here for hanging were wooden dowels. Wooden dowels, they warp and they can't hold as much weight. Solid aluminum rod. And then in the side panels, there are 2 holes drilled to slide them through. Good. This allows you to hang something without bowing as much. The person that owns this made a skirt. You're probably thinking this looks like crap, it's two-tone, you can see through the bottom. They sewed together a skirt that you slide over the unit, which we should have done before we put the roof on, so you could see it. But of course, we don't do things in order. That would make sense. The reason there's a split in it is so when this is facing back, they can reach in and get the stuff underneath. So this would normally be on the back side, so they can access the stuff to stock the top. I have it on this way so you can see the access. You're not lifting the entire skirt up. And there's enough room back here that the skirt fits behind the wheel, so you can still roll it and not have it bind up in the tire. And then these are the new shelves, which inside they put foam with burlap sack, and then these are now the adjustable shelf dividers, so you can actually place them anywhere you want, and they're held in with just a tension versus before where they're screwed in. How these work, this piece of wood, there's a notch right here, a gap, which slides inside these pieces of hollow metal. Cheers. And we just use a bolt without a nut to help prevent these from sliding down. And here's your expandable dividers. Just rest it inside. Pick your where you want them. What this allows you to do is box off your sections. Everything before was screwed down inside. With the new metal roof, the metal uprights, and the lighter MDF drawers, this is now 6 pounds lighter than when it was made out of all wood. We also shortened it because it needed to fit under one of those expanding 10-foot pop tents. Before it was about just shy of 7 feet. Now it's about 6 feet. So it fits right underneath. And it rolls fully assembled. So at the end of the video, we'll have a picture of the parts close up, and we'll include measurements, dimensions, so you can try and build your own, and the types of materials used to make this thing as light and as mobile as possible and collapse down so you can store it in the back of a truck or an SUV, or if you have a vehicle with a really large trunk, like an old Cadillac. But hopefully it helps. We'll show you the disassembly process, and then we'll stack it flat so you can see how it all fits to roll away.
There, take it apart. Let's do this again.
Bring that down. Both hit the ground.
I just stuck it in the jar.
That's the step you should put it on. And not across the throat. And this cart has a string tied to the bottom, which allows you to pull it like a wagon. So once it's all stacked flat, you can actually carry it out and drag it. Get the string out. The drawers. So if you're transporting this to an event and it doesn't fit through a door because it's too tall, or you don't want to assemble it in a parking lot, that's why it all fits on top of itself. Then you can just roll it away. So that is the revised candy cart. We'll get the measurements, close-up pictures, and hopefully you all can build one yourself. adjust the sizes as necessary for your project. It doesn't have to be this long or this wide or this tall or with this many moving parts if you don't want the intermediate shelves or the hanging bars. So hopefully this helps. The new updated candy cart. Till next time.